host. What a great day it is today.
It is.
Yeah, it's a wonderful day today.
Sounded like a drink of coffee.
It is Tuesday, May the 9th.
I was going to say that first drink of coffee is refreshing.
It
Just like,
always
what's
is.
the story?
That's right. That's right. And we're so happy to be here today. And we have as our guest, which I am going to get to very quickly because I want to hear as much as possible as we can from Bruce Parks, who is the Washoe County GOP chair. And glad to have you today, Bruce.
Oh, no. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
You're becoming a regular on America Matters.
What? Yeah, I was here last week
That's
with
what I heard.
Eddie and
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah, he stole my thunder, didn't he?
No, I don't think so. There are so many stones left unturned.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? I have a number of questions for you today because I had some folks that sent me questions in advance and some from our studio, not our studio audience, obviously, because they're not here, but
They're out there.
Live studio audience, right?
We have that, but our studio's the car,
That's true.
right?
You're very funny. You're very funny, very funny. So Bruce actually was in competition this last month for his position, and he did win out. And so he is the Washoe County GOP chair. Well, there was no
So hold it.
competition
Is it
initially.
WWE? Is it a
There was
wrestling
no
match? What's the
competition.
criteria?
Well, I can assure you that I appreciate the fact that we are giving people choices.
I think so.
I think it's wonderful. I
Yes.
don't think if there's just one name on the ticket, it's
That's
smacks
right.
of North Korea
And
to me.
the
but-
other three positions did not have any competition, so it was good that the chair's position had some competition.
I agree with you
That's
100%.
my opinion.
And fortunately, the people decided that they want me to continue steering the ship, if you will. So I will do my very best for them.
Very
What's
good.
the name of the ship?
It would be the Washoe County Republican Party.
Oh, good. Was hoping it wasn't kind of tied to maybe the Titanic.
That's funny. Yeah, that could be
Yes.
disastrous, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's the title you could
That's all right.
subscribe to our current legislative
Yeah.
session.
You can say that Republicans aren't compartmentalized, so that won't happen.
no.
That's funny.
I like that.
My goodness.
Wow,
What a day.
it is already.
Trying to maneuver a number of things. Bruce, why don't you tell folks? I posted in my little teaser on Substack. I posted kind of what the goals of the Washoe County Republican Party include. Maybe you can expand on that a little bit. Tell folks, why would you want to be a part of the Republican Party?
Oh my gosh, where do I begin? Well, first
At the
of all,
beginning.
if you want to expand your voice as a Republican, you need to join the Central Committee. It does expand your, and by the way, being elected to the Central Committee is the lowest level office that you can be elected to in our country because it's broken down by precincts. But it is an elected position, and you are representing the folks in your precinct. But by being a part of the Central Committee, that means that you can now join the State Central Committee, and you have the possibility of going to the National Convention and casting a vote for who you want to be the Republican representative for president. And that's about as far as you can expand your vote. Your ballot, of
Pretty
course.
good.
Or writing a book with LaRue.
Be
He always
honest.
gives me a plug.
Well, there you go. To be honest with you, Janice, when if somebody told me 10 years ago that I'd be doing what I'm doing right now, I'd call them a liar. No way. I just didn't see it. But I'm sick and tired, as are a lot of us, of seeing what's going on in this country. and I have to get involved. I will die on my feet before I live on my knees, and that's where I see us going. Not on my watch, Skippy.
Yeah, and we don't have a lot of time in this segment, but I want you to talk a little bit about, you've been going to the legislature. Am I correct about that? Or I don't know if you have recently, but I know
Most definitely. In fact, we have a situation here in the state of Nevada now that we've not had in decades. We have a unified Republican Party. Every one of the counties is involved with this legislative session. Clark, Washoe, all 15 of the rurals were all involved in this legislative session. They've never seen that before. I've gotten it from people that have been doing this for over 50 years. They have never seen this level of activity by the citizenry with the legislative session. And we have made a difference. Not always the way we want to,
right.
But we've certainly made a difference.
But I've been involved with a group that's focused on the election bills that are in the legislature right now.
Funny you should mention that.
And one of the things that happened when one of the folks was, while she was testifying, she was pointing out something to the legislature, and she kept repeating the same thing over and over again. She said by the time she was done, the person who had started that bill, had introduced that bill, changed part of the language because of what she pointed out. So now whether, she says, I don't know that I was the one, but she says it sure was funny that was part of what they took out.
Well,
so you can, even though you may not get the bill not to pass, you can influence what is being said. So sorry.
Look at how many amendments they've made to bills. And a lot of that has been because of the public input on this stuff. When you mentioned the elections, we took all the committees for the legislature and broke it down. Okay, Clark County, you're responsible for these committees.
Gotcha.
Washoe County, you're responsible for these. Nye County, you're doing these. And this way you don't have, like I'm sure you're familiar with Janine Hansen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yes.
Janine
She's
reads
awesome.
every single.
She's
I don't know
wonderful.
how she does.
I don't either.
She's superwoman.
She is.
But we didn't want to overburden people. And by doing it this way, it gives us an opportunity to really get down into the nitty gritty of what that bill is about.
Right.
And then when we write our rebuttals, targeted.
We are going to talk more about this because this is really important.
Yep.
But we have to take a quick break because our sponsors are really important too.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. That's 800-432-8150. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. Ouch! Well, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers. If you administer insulin 3 or more times per day or use an insulin pump, call now and learn how a CGM can help you.
Painless. No more pricking my finger.
No finger pricks.
Convenience. They delivered it free and they took care of all the paperwork.
You can reduce pain right away. Plus, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you spend more time in range. And if you have insurance, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Call now and get free shipping of your new CGM. Plus, we'll bill your insurance for you. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. That's 800-432-8150.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo. Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Wake up, the sun below. Got another road to sow. Let the fire feel the hope swelling up from the depths of my soul.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermson. I'm your host. And we're glad that you stuck with us. And we're ready for another round with Mr. Bruce Parks. Before I start, I want to make sure we always have a word of the day. And I've not mentioned the word of the day today because I wanted to chat with Bruce real quick. But it is fealty. Fealty. You want to take that on, Ed?
So I was going to say anything that rhymes with realty is in, right? So I got a rhymes with word. Right? Best. I know, right? Jan's my field tour. Right? Field tour, real tour, right? Get it? It's a word of the day. There it is. The guy.
And you've got
Come on. You got what's the synonyms? I got them.
Oh, no, I got a bunch of them here.
I guess he's going to keep them to himself, right?
Come on, I need a little prodding today. Okay, synonyms and similar words.
No, we don't want similar. We
Okay.
want synonyms.
Loyalty, I like that one. Commitment, dedication, devotion, faithfulness, steadfastness, attachment, piety, consistency, faith, troth.
Weakness.
I'm not sure about trough. The technical meaning of fealty is the fidelity of a vassal or feudal tenant to his lord. Right? There's the
It is
technical.
beyond. It is beyond any of those things. Right? It's a commitment beyond those.
Well,
things.
you can bet that Ed is going to find ways to use this word today all through the show. So we're going to continue on talking to Bruce Parks, who is the Washoe County Republican Chair.
Oh, we owe
And-
him fealty.
Well, hey, you know what? that is perfect because we can say we have that to the Republican Party.
Oh, okay. There
Right?
you go. That's a
So, yeah.
that's a good way to use the word.
That's not a stretch.
Okay, there you have it. Well, we could go on. Last 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the Uniparty, so we'll save that for a little while later. But I'm sure you're going to find that an
He'll like
interesting
that
topic.
one. He'll like that.
In the meantime, I do have a question for you, though. Rasmussen reported that upwards of 300,000 mail-in ballots in Maricopa County, Arizona, are now will now be checked for missing or mismatched signature issues. Is the Washoe GOP doing anything, or the statewide, however you can answer this, doing anything to support the effort in Arizona by Carrie Lake and her case against Maricopa County?
Actively, no.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, most definitely.
Okay. Well, that's
And
good.
it's also important to note that it's not just Maricopa County. 70% of Democrats were totally against question 3 on the ballot, the ranked choice voting.
Right.
Well, they are actually against all of them. But anyway, on ranked choice voting, 70% of Democrats were opposed to that. Now,
Yep.
we had record turnout of Republicans during this last election cycle. So please, anybody, explain to me how question 3 passed. I have questions. Our
I
problem,
will
though, is
tell
finding
you
a
my
judge.
answer. My answer is follow the money.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
If
follow
we can
the money.
find a judge that doesn't have fealty to others and will actually enforce the law and has the backbone to listen to our cases, we could fix some of this stuff. We're still searching.
Well, and as long as you brought up the ranked choice voting, the issue is not gone yet, because
still
if
there.
if that passes in, what are we doing there? If that passes next time, that changes our Constitution.
It does.
And so what I'm going to just jump to a question from a listener, because that was one of the questions about ranked choice voting. What is the Republican Party doing to educate the public about ranked choice voting, what it is, and why we don't feel it's good for, or at least me personally, I don't feel it's good for Nevada.
It's not good for Nevada. It's horrible for Nevada. The problem that we face, though, is that we are being outspent by the left 5-1. For every dollar we spend, they spend 5. It doesn't matter what the issue is. It doesn't matter what the office is. I mean, who spends $250,000 for a school board race? But it happened. If we had the funding that they have, we could run the ads on TV. We could run the ads on the radio. We could put the truth out there.
Okay, so that's the answer of why nothing is being done at this point. What are we going to do to fix it? That would be my question.
Well,
Hey,
Let him answer.
if I could offer one thing, and I
Sure.
think,
I guess not.
oh
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry,
No,
if
go
I
ahead.
could offer one thing, and it goes back to Ronald Reagan. He says, never speak ill of a fellow Republican. The Democrats do this very, very well. They have a motto, all lie and you swear to it. Republicans attack Republicans all the time. We have to have a unified voice moving forward. And if somebody doesn't agree, button it.
I want to address that, but I want to answer Janice's question first. We may not have the money, but we do have the people, and we can get the word to the people by our field operations committee, by knocking on doors, by having impromptu rallies. We can get the information out there.
So
we have the bodies to do it.
Are we starting to do
Oh,
that?
we're already working on it.
If we Google ranked choice voting, what nefarious start did it have?
Oh, Alaska's one.
Yeah, well,
But I'm sure it started somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
In Venezuela or
Probably.
some other
Yeah.
country. I think that'll solve our problem.
and to answer your question, Doug, the difference between a Republican and a Democrat is, as a Republican, you get to have an opinion of your very own,
Yes.
and you get to freely express that. Now, the problem is, if I don't agree with your opinion and you can't convince me to come onto your side, the typical Republican response is, well, I'm taking my toys and going home, and I'm not playing with you ever again. I don't understand why that's the go-to response, but
Yeah.
it seems that's what it is. I don't understand it. If you could explain it to me, I could develop
Yeah.
a strategy to overcome it.
It appears shallow in an individual
Yeah.
when they do that.
Very much.
So let's talk a little. We only have a few more minutes, but let's talk a little bit about the legislature and some of the things that are going on there. We're going to talk to Mark Kampf in the next segment about AB 394. Do you have a particular bill that you've talked about recently, or maybe the one that you were going to testify on that you had to hang up before you got here, that you would like to tell us about?
I don't even know where to begin, Janice. There are so many bad bills that are coming. It seems like this entire legislative session has been about the woke agenda, because those are the bills that I'm seeing coming through. They all deal with the woke agenda. It's absolutely, A homeless Bill of Rights?
I know. I saw
Really?
that.
So I think
Yeah.
we need to address homelessness in a bipartisan way, and it's a big challenge in Vegas. It's a significant issue.
And
It's
I
a problem, and we need to solve it. And that could be
But a Bill of Rights?
no. I'm
Where they
against.
can-
I'm against the Bill of there. I mean,
the homelessness problem is not this big, huge, complicated, unrelated to housing availability, by the way. It's not this big, complicated problem they try to make it out to be. It's a very simple. I've spent thousands of hours in the homeless camps. Every homeless person I know that is no longer on those streets, that have cleaned themselves up, are now productive members of society. They all, with no exceptions, have indicated to me that they got tired of being arrested. And that's why they decided to clean themselves up. And after spending enough time in jail that they cleaned up and sobered up, they realized the error of their ways. They got tired of being separated from whatever their chemical of choice was. You want to fix the homeless problem? It's simple. Enforce the laws. That's it in a nutshell. But as long as there's a buck to be made, we will continue to have a homeless population. We got a $78 million CARES campus, which is a misnomer. That's like military intelligence.
Yeah.
Because they don't care. If you've ever been there, it's evident to a blind man
Yeah.
that they don't care.
We interviewed Paul White, who had been there with somebody. That,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and he shared a lot about what was going on at that CARES campus.
Yeah, well, there's your tax dollars at work.
Well, and I did try to follow up with the county on that, and I never got a response from them. So
I told one of our city council members that I could fix the problem for only $5 million. I'd go out here in the desert somewhere. I'd erect some chain link fence with razor wire on the top. I'd erect some army tents, which I lived in for, gosh, I don't even know how long. But if it's good enough for our soldiers, it's certainly good enough for a bunch of criminals. And if you're out there doing the things that some of these homeless people do, you're a criminal.
yeah, it's true.
What you're doing is against the law.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't get away with the things that.
Well, we're all supposed to be equal under the law. That's not true.
Yeah.
And this legislative session, they have tried desperately to create certain protected classes of people. Now, and it's all part of that woke agenda. If you're not involved in this legislative cycle, or you haven't contributed at least an opinion, then we have a problem.
And we will talk after the break. We're going to talk about how you can contribute your opinion very easily. We'll be right back. This is What's the Story.
Let the fire feel the hole swelling up from the
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to lrpnv.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to lrpnv.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Book Hound radio show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Man in the Map, does every week. Just go to lrpnv.com. That's lrpnv.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite nonprofit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time.
Ugh.
Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. This is What's the Story? I'm Janice Hermson. I'm your host here with Ed Knoll, Doug Ashby, Bruce Parks, Shanimal on the board, and we are happy that you have stuck with us. I have another question for Bruce, and this is from a listener. And the question was, and what happened to election integrity? And I know you've mentioned that. Is local, state, national GOP doing anything to assist cleaning voter rolls and making sure machines are counting votes correctly? Can you answer that?
Yes, we are actively involved in trying to be not reactive, but proactive in getting our elections trued up. Yes, we're demanding that they clean these. It's in the law books that they have clean voter rolls. Why are we getting the resistance that we are from our registrar of voters? It doesn't make any sense to me. We can document
because she doesn't have any employees, is what she says.
Well, and
that's
I was
what
going
she
to
said
say
at the.
results.
She said the same thing before the last election.
I know.
Didn't have enough people
to
do all the polling locations.
Stating facts.
We gave them 4,000 people.
Right.
Here's 4,000 people.
And they
didn't use them. Instead, they went out and they hired people.
I was one of them that didn't get hired.
Exactly. They went out and they hired people through temp agencies.
Right.
Why? Janice, what's your affiliation? What party are you a part of?
The wrong
Well, there's your answer. That's why they
one.
wouldn't use you.
No, they did the first time, and then they found out who I was, and they decided that they didn't want me the second time around.
And
so,
in the few instances where we did have somebody from the right party working at a polling location, the minute they pointed out something that wasn't right, like, hey, aren't you supposed to be verifying them signatures? They were gone.
So I hear what you're saying, and I understand that you're saying you're trying to do something, but specifically, are there specific activities that are happening without divulging a secret plan? Are there specific activities that are happening via the GOP that directly with that registrar's office to ensure some of these things? For instance, when they were not certifying the machines, but when they were doing I'm trying to remember the name of the test, prior to the elections, they would only let us watch from a certain angle, which was not even being able to see anything on the machines. Are there things being done that are going to prevent that from us being faced with that again in the future?
We're fighting that. And what you're talking about is the integrity tests of the machines. I know exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, it was wrong what they did. Absolutely wrong, against the law. But here we go again. Try to find a judge that will hear the case. We are active in what we're doing in preparation for this next election cycle, and not just here in Washoe County. We're at the state level, and the RNC is also involved in this. We have people from the state that will come here to Washoe County, and I've already got them scheduled to conduct ballot harvesting training, for one thing. We're also getting people out there in those locations that are, how's a good way to say it, sensitive. For instance, there are certain places that the Democrats target. nursing homes,
Right.
hospitals, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if we don't have people there as well, then we're one thing and one thing only, wrong. We're fixing it.
So Republicans, right, focused on the Supreme Court, and this voter thing's been going on for 50 years, and we woke up and we're way behind the curve.
Way behind. But unlike some folks out there, we think a little bit further ahead than just the next election cycle. We're working on things that are going to fix this and fix it permanently way down the road.
Awesome.
Okay, another listener comment. And this is in your favor, Bruce. Great job keeping the Central Committee and the active GOP members aware of legislative bills, both pro and con. So there's a thank you right there. How about that?
I appreciate that, but I take no credit, none whatsoever. I helped organize, but it's actually a whole lot of other people besides just myself.
So it's teamwork, but there still has to be.
Yeah.
There still has to be
Has
someone
to be a
leading the
vision,
charge.
and then somebody has to implement. I got you.
So take the compliment.
I'll take it.
Because we got other questions.
That's right. You don't. I was going to say you don't look like a pincushion.
Okay, so when you look at the Washoe County GOP calendar, the question is, why aren't public meetings listed? For instance, county commission, city council, school board, things like that. Is there a reason they can't be listed on that calendar?
Well, because one, our calendar would become so crowded, if you will, that it would be hard to filter through and pick out just the Republican stuff. Secondly, I assume that everybody out there that is concerned and wants to get involved already knows where to go. If they don't, all they have to do is visit our website. They can find all the guidance they could possibly want there.
So the answer to your question there, or to your comment, is, and no, folks don't take time to look up every entity's website. So where should they be going on the GOP website if that's the case?
If you want to know what's
it's
going
like
on,
you talk to each other.
If you want to know what's going on with the 82nd legislative session, go to washoegop.org. Click on 82nd legislative session, and it will hand carry you through the entire process. You want to know how to give an opinion? There it is. There's the instructions.
I did.
Right there.
Yeah, I did want to mention that too. The opinions. You don't have to. You do have to log in to give your opinion. So you have to set up a free account.
Yeah.
But you don't have to put through a long testimony. You can read the bill and then go in there and say, hey, I oppose or I support, whichever. And the legislators, God bless them, some of them being lazy, will only look at that, right? They'll just look and they'll say, well, what did people want? Yes or no, right? This is what I've heard.
Did I hear you to say that we have lazy legislators?
Not us.
Say it isn't so.
Say it isn't so. So it is a good place to go, though, to go on to Nellis, and that's NELIS. Just search Nellis. If you're a Nevadan and you want to be able to give an opinion, get in there, sign up. It's a free account. You don't have to sell your firstborn. Just
it used to be a free country. Give a vote.
Yeah. So just go in there and you can read. A lot of these bills are only a few pages.
Exactly.
And they are hard to read. I'm not going to say they're easy to read. I'm a reader, and I go through them, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what in the world are they trying to say?
I'd
right?
rather be waterboarded than have to read
well, I've never
bill.
been waterboarded, so I don't know that.
Lord.
But
and we also have it broke down by you want all the emails for a specific committee? Here you go. It's right there for you. If you want to do the entire Senate, here's the email address.
And this
phone
is
numbers, everything.
On where?
On washoegop.org.
Okay. I just want to be specific because I want to make sure everybody knows that you can go there and you can find this stuff. So,
and as it pertains to some of the other entities around Washoe County, just go to washoe.gov and it will it's right there for anybody.
Yeah, and I think that what this person was referencing, just from my perception of this, is that a lot of people are, and I hate to even say it because they're busy. They're, like everybody else. And so the easier that we can make it for them to find this stuff, the the more people will have participating. And I think once you get them participating,
It's
then
our responsibility
I
as
realize,
citizens, folks.
I totally agree.
I realize exactly what you're saying, Jen. The at one time we had. Please understand, there's 7 different Republican clubs in Washoe County. Plus, you have all the public entities and their events, the public bodies. You can see how that calendar would get crowded, and
You
it
got
did.
echo here, fella.
Well, I thought that was just my
No, it's not
the
just
space
you.
between my
I just thought I'd
ears.
mention it.
No, I think the Democrats have us tape recorded.
Ah,
They knew you were coming on.
No, it was what you were,
There you go. Now we got it.
what you were saying. What you were saying is so important that they did it twice.
That's what it is. My goodness.
Can I ask just a couple questions of you? This is kind of going back to the first. Now, I can see how you're really involved with this, and you have you're anxious enough to go forward with this. Are you retired, or is you? I don't mean retired from this. I mean from what you did. Well, that was the kind of the essence of my question. Is I don't want you.
I see patients all over the world. To schedule your consultation today, call 775-827-0707. That number again is 775-827-0707.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-296-1259. 800-296-1259. 800-296-1259. That's 800-296-1259.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking. with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living then has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 80.
And discussing freedoms and liberties.
Fleeing, right?